In early October 2023, Bristol-Myers announced it was buying Mirati Therapeutics for $4.8 billion. In this video we're going to calculate Bristol-Myers purchase price as multiples of Mirati consensus revenue estimates as of the date the acquisition was announced. We'll then access Mirati's revenue multiples versus key Mirati patent expiration dates. We will then do the same with Sobi's acquisition of CTI Biopharma last May of 2023 to see if there are any similarities. We'll use any learnings to quantify the potential upside to Mirati and CTIC peers in future videos. We apologize for the computer-generated voice. If it bothers you, then kindly stop watching this video. Again, Bristol-Myers is buying Mirati for $4.8 billion. Bristol-Myers chief commercial officer was quoted in Reuters as saying Mirati held $1.1 billion in cash, so that Bristol-Myers was essentially paying a net $3.7 billion to buy Mirati. This $3.7 billion is called the enterprise value. For purposes of this video, we will exclude any consideration of the $1 billion CVR. Mirati's FDA-approved cancer therapy is called Crazity. We mean no disrespect and apologize, this computer-generated voice is hacking its pronunciation. Let's first calculate the revenue multiples paid by starting with their enterprise value. Mirati's fiscal year 2027, or year 4, consensus revenue estimates are $750 million. Mirati's fiscal year 2028, or year 5, consensus revenue estimates total $1.04 billion. Of course the amounts shown here are in billions except the multiples themselves. Using simple math, dividing Mirati's enterprise value by these consensus revenue estimates shown here as dividing row A by row B, we see Bristol-Myers is paying 4.9 times Mirati's year 4 or fiscal year 2027 consensus revenue estimates and or 3.6 times Mirati's year 5 or fiscal year 2028 consensus revenue estimates. These are commonly known as revenue multiples. It is our understanding Mirati's Crazity therapy is patented through May 17, 2037. This is 13.6 years from the date the transaction was announced. Patent expiration is sometimes referred to as loss of exclusivity or LOE. Taken one step further, if we take Mirati's year 4 revenue multiple of 4.9 and divide it by the 13.6 years until patent expiration or LOE, or in this case the amounts in row C divided by row D, we see that Bristol-Myers is paying 0.36 times year 4 revenues for each year of patent protection. If we do the same math on year 5's revenue multiple, we see Bristol-Myers is paying 0.26 times year 5 revenues for each year until loss of exclusivity. Let's do the same analytics on CTI Biopharma. In May 2023, Sobi announced it was buying CTI Biopharma for an enterprise value of $1.7 billion. To keep the video short, here are the year 4 and year 5 revenue multiples. In this case we are using revenue estimates per CTI Biopharma management as reflected in the subsequent 14D9 filing. CTI Biopharma's FDA-approved therapy is called Vonjo. Again, we apologize for the computer-generated voiceover. Vonjo's patent expires in January 2034, which was roughly 10.85 years from the date the acquisition was announced. In this case, dividing CTI Biopharma's revenue multiples by the 10.85 years to patent expiration or LOE, we see Sobi is paying 0.28 times year 4 revenues for each year until LOE and 0.26 times year 5. Notice the Mirati and CTI Biopharma year 5 multiples for each year until LOE are identical? Is this a complete random coincidence, or does it suggest that a year 5 revenue multiple of 0.26 for each year until LOE may be a barometer of potential for Mirati and CTIC peers? Maybe or maybe not. Time will tell. Remember, when public companies are acquired they subsequently file what are called 14D9 filings with the SEC that document the rationale for the valuations offered and accepted. We showed you a snapshot of CTI Biopharma's 14D9. We will review the Mirati 14D9 filing shortly after it is filed in a later video. To be crystal clear, this video is for entertainment purposes. Do not rely on this video for any investment decision. Though we've worked in the industry for decades, we are not professional analysts. M&A pricing is complex and includes countless variables, assumptions, competitive analysis, and NPV calculations. This is a 5-minute video that excludes any considerations around either company's pipeline nor other assets. Anyone watching this video should also understand the calculations presented here are unaudited and therefore could be dead wrong. The subject analysis is directional at best. However, many believe simple revenue multiple analytics like these provide a directional overview of potential value for Mirati and CTI Biopharma peers, assuming number 1, the peer has a FDA-approved product, number 2, if the peer's consensus revenue estimates are credible, and number 3, and most important, assuming the peer is ever acquired. These are huge, and my goodness, we mean huge ifs in capital letters. In our next videos we will show potential valuations of other biopharma companies with FDA-approved therapies and near-term PDUFA dates, assuming they are ever acquired at Mirati and CTI Biopharma, like revenue multiples. Again and for the third time, we apologize for the computer-generated voice, but the three of us making this video have day jobs. We prefer our employers not know we've created a YouTube channel, but at the same time someone has to try to stop the bleeding in biopharma valuations. We believe the biopharma sector is a sector that offers credible opportunities for 200 to 300% returns over the next 3 to 5 years for patient investors. Of course we could be dead wrong, as the biopharma industry may simply go away. We doubt it, but it could. Follow us here on YouTube to watch our future analysis. We will also be following the life cycles of a handful of late-stage biopharmas over the next few years as they fight back from today's supposed bargain basement valuations. Thank you.